Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Today's topic is God wants to do a new thing in your life. God wants to do a new thing in your life. I'll give just a couple minutes for you guys to come on. Good morning. Good morning, Dion. Good morning, TP. Good morning, Keenan. Good morning, Cherie. Good morning, good morning. I know I've been missing in action after going live every day in April and doing almost every other day in May. Now, you guys, I'm back in content creation mode behind the scenes. I don't know, for those of you who do not create, right? For creators, guys, the balance between marketing and sharing yourself and going live with the balance of creating, right? Creating courses, workbooks, books to publish, all the stuff that goes in behind the scenes is so much work that when I'm in creation mode, it's very difficult to stay in sharing live mode when you're in creating mode. Very hard to balance it out. Something that creators all juggle. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Just giving a couple minutes for those of you to come on. Today's topic is God is doing something new in your life. God wants to do something new in your life. That's today's topic. God dropped this title into my spirit Sunday morning, and I knew it was going to be a video I did this week. So here it is already, Wednesday. God wants to do a new thing. Okay. For those of you who are still coming on, I'm looking. I went and bought a new makeup look and I'm checking it out on video. I just put it on. I went and purchased this weekend. I was looking at some makeup, guys. This is for the girls. I was looking at some makeup and I liked these, you know, the nude looks are all in, guys. And I went and purchased a nude look. I got like a whole MAC nude look. So I'm just looking at it on the video. Anyway, so happy Wednesday, happy Winning Wednesday. This message is for those of you who are resisting transition. This message isn't for everyone, right? Thank you, Kelly. This message isn't for everyone. It is for those of you who are in transition. Hey, Jessica. Hi, baby. How do you know if you're in transition? Or how do you know if you're resisting transition? Thank you, guys. Makeup tutorials are paying off, right? I love this look. So I want you to identify yourself, okay? This is you, and you may not know you're in transition. You may not know that God's trying to do a new thing in your life. Here are some of the signs to identify yourself in case you don't recognize where you're at, the season you're at in life, right? The season you're at in life. Erica, baby, I got you, right? Here's how you know if you're in transition or if God is trying to do a new thing in your life, right? All the old stuff you used to do is not working, right? All the old stuff you used to do is not working, Margaret. Hey, Margaret. Welcome to my channel, guys. Welcome to all the new followers. If all the old stuff, if everything you used to do is no longer working, God's trying to do a new thing. If the ways that used to get it done, the job that used to pay you, the relationship that used to be so happy, right? The exercise that used to get the results, the diet that used to get you the results, the ways that you used to cultivate peace, balance in your life, the ways you used to make money. Who am I talking to? Everything. When you are in transition, when God is trying to do a new thing in your life, the old stuff stops working. Okay? The old stuff stops working. It's not working no more. And it used to work. It used to work for you. You used to be okay. You used to feel good about it. It used to flow. Now, Another sign that God's trying to do a new thing. You are resisting or procrastinating about some things that you know you need to do. You're procrastinating, right? You're putting some hard things off. You're not calling to get your credit fixed. You're not calling. You're not answering the phone when those creditors are calling you, because you used to be in an old season, and I'm going to preach to somebody this morning. You used to be in an old season of lack. You used to be in struggle. You've lost everything before. You've gone through a bankruptcy, and God's brought you out of that season, or he's bringing you out of that season. And it's now time for accountability. It's now time for cleanup. It's now time for you to be able to come back over here, get your credit together, get your finances in order. But you're resisting. You're procrastinating, right? Why? Because some of us have some PTSD. You notice how I said us. We have some PTSD. We have some financial post-traumatic stress. You're not in the season right now that you used to be in, but you've carried some stress. You've carried some trauma from seasons of lack, seasons of struggle. And it's now time, because God is trying to do the new thing in your life. He's trying to give you the new house. He's trying to give you the new car. He's trying to answer your financial prayers. He's trying to up-level you and upgrade you financially, monetarily. But you've got to get your house in order, right? Got to get your house in order. Got to get things organized. It's time to deal with the credit. It's time to deal with the creditors. It's time to get on some payment plans. It's time to get some things set up. Because you're praying for a new thing. You're praying for release. You're praying for prosperity. But sometimes you got to do some cleanup. Sometimes you got to do some cleanup to prepare for the new thing. You're not ready for new company. Your house is still a mess. It's messy. It's disorganized. Things are not prepared for the new. God is trying to do a new thing in your life, but he can't bring you the money, because then you'll keep procrastinating about those student loans, about your credit, about budgeting, about getting the accountant. See, some of you need help. You can't keep trying to do everything on your own. Some of you are praying about relationships. Some of you are praying about a husband, a wife. Some of you are praying about your health and your physical well-being. Some of you, but in the meantime, there are things that God keeps dropping in your spirit to deal with and to face, and to make those difficult phone calls. God, for some of you, God is dropping in your spirit to call and apologize to some people. Listen, there's some people you did wrong. There's some people you hurt. There's some people that you didn't exactly treat right. And it doesn't matter what they did to you. It doesn't matter what triggered it. It doesn't matter. It's your part to apologize. God keeps dropping, right? You feel sorry for what you did, for the part you played. It doesn't matter what they're going to say. It doesn't matter even if they receive it. It doesn't matter if they don't apologize in return. I'm speaking on what I know. There were seasons in my life that if you met me in that chapter, you weren't meeting the whole healed Rebecca. You weren't meeting the Rebecca at her best. You met toxic Rebecca. You met going through Rebecca. You met Rebecca who was hurting. You met Rebecca who was in recovery. You met Rebecca going through a divorce. You met Rebecca. I had to go back. I had to send a couple emails. I had to send a couple inbox messages to people that weren't even necessarily really close to me, but were hurt as an innocent bystander of some of my choices, some of my thinking. Some things I created that ostracized, that hurt people, that were divisive. And I had to go back and say, listen, remember when I did da 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 da? I'm so sorry. And do you know what their response was? Thank you. Thank you for sending me this message. Thank you. You don't know what part that's playing in somebody else's healing. You don't know what part that's playing in restoring somebody's hope, restoring somebody's faith in humanity, in people. You don't know what somebody's going through or what they've been through, that your little part in the story, that you can turn that around and you can snatch it back from the enemy. And what was meant for bad can be turned around to good, to where there's no longer any strife, any struggle between you and he or you and her. What is God trying to get you to do? God wants to do a new thing. But if you don't be obedient to what he's calling you to do in this season, and it's the small things, guys. It's not the big things. It's the small things. It's answering the phone when the creditor calls. That's called maturity. Right? It's making the phone call. It's taking the coaching course. It's buying the book. It's getting still and stop running. Getting quiet enough for you to deal with some pain, deal with your issues, deal with your little mind, deal with your little nastiness. God wants to do a new thing in your life. Every season of breakthrough in my life, every season of elevation, every season where God has elevated me to the next level, added a zero to the bank account, took me from 6 figures to 7, took me from 5 figures to 6, took me from single to married, took me from in an apartment to in a house, took me from in that house to the bigger house, took me from that house to the luxury, took me from the Lexus to the Mercedes, from the Ford to the Lexus, to the every elevation. Every elevation in my life has been preceded by healing, preceded by accountability, preceded by a season of going through, not with other people. Does sometimes it deal with other people? Yes, but God's dealing with you. Stop trying to make it about everybody else. At the end of the day, when you die, you going in the grave and ain't nobody jumping in with you to go with you. You are accountable for you. You've got one life to live. I don't care what family you were born into. I don't care what cards you were dealt. You are now an adult, and it's up to you to be accountable to where you want to go. And God is trying to do this new thing. I'll make it real. I'll make it real. Some of you are holding on to the past, holding on to trauma, holding on to what he said, she said, what he did, what she did. Right? Erica, listen, I don't care what type of coping mechanism comes up. I don't care if it's marijuana, alcohol, an old fling, sex, cocaine. I don't care what keeps coming up to try to distract you from where you're going. Those are all coping mechanisms. Those are all band-aids, guys. Distractions. When you keep trying to take a little sippy sip instead of trying to deal with the pain. I used to have a radio show in Atlanta, guys. I was at the height of my popularity on so many levels. I had a radio show in Atlanta. I was on TV shows. I was doing so much. And literally, I was drinking vodka every day that I had to go live on my radio show. There was a tumbler of vodka in the container that nobody knew I was sipping on. Why? My nerves, anxiety, trauma, stress, financial overwhelm, coping, trying to cope. If I just take a little sip, it'll calm my nerves. I can flow. You shouldn't need vodka to help you flow. You shouldn't need vodka to help you relax. You shouldn't need weed to help you get through the day. You can't use sex to try to heal your heart. You can't use sex as trauma relief, as anxiety relief. Because after the moment, after the orgasm, after the few minutes of explosion relief endorphins, you're right back where you were. You cannot run from yourself. Everywhere you go, you will be there. It doesn't matter where you move. It doesn't matter what you try to do. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me. Now, if you find yourself in these stories, but I'm talking about me. You might feel naked right now. That means this is for you, right? But I'm talking about me. You can't get mad at me talking about me. You can't keep losing yourself in work. You're missing the lesson. You're distracting yourself from seeing what needs to be seen. You have got to conquer these giants. You have got to turn around and face these giants in your life. You've got to turn around and deal with the mess of your life. You've got to turn around and face the challenges, the obstacles, the fears. It is by turning around and facing what we've been running from that elevates us into a new season, that opens up the doors for God to usher in everything you're asking for. See, you've got to change. You've got to shift. God wants to do a new thing, but you can't stay the old you. That's the catch. You keep asking for a new thing, but you can't stay the old you and reap and harvest into the new. You have to become new. God is trying to renew your heart, your mind. He's trying to renew your ways. He's trying to renew your mindset. He's trying to renew everything about you. Because you want everything to change. Sometimes I think what people underestimate is what has to change in order for that new thing to come. This is why when you pray or when you get serious or when you get intentional about getting something new in life, all hell begins to break loose in different areas of your life. All hell begins to break loose. See, this is the stuff nobody talks about. Right? Why? Because people don't want to be exposed. It's not pretty. It's not easy. It's ugly. All hell starts breaking loose. The people you thought loved you don't love you. The people you love don't love you. The thing that you thought would always be consistent is no longer there. It's shifting. You can't even find it there no more. What's up is down and what's down is up and what's left is right and what's right is left. It just starts going all haywire on you. Because what you underestimate is how jacked up, how far off base you've been in order to be where you want to be. You haven't quite realized how much work is going to have to go into you shifting from where you've been to where you want to be. And it doesn't all happen in these big chunks, these big stages, this big leap. It's all these baby steps. It's all these small shifts and adjustments and going through and conflict and challenging that mindset and challenging how you see yourself and challenging your relationships and challenging your money. And everything is cultivated in a way that is pushing you and birthing you and getting you to shift and getting you to realize, I've got to give this thing over to God. This is not in my timing. That's what happens in personal development and growth mode. You begin to realize it is not a straight line from A to B, from losing to winning. It is not a straight line. It is this zigzag process that's taking you up, down, around the mountain, back up again, down a little bit, 2 steps forward. And you're looking around like, how the God, I trust you, but this is hard. The work is hard. Woo! See, you think that you're going to have one moment of breakthrough. You're going to have this miraculous moment where everything clicks for you. Now you got it. Because if we're honest, that's what traditional Christianity teaches. You're going to have this moment, this altar experience, this miraculous breakthrough where everything just sinks for you, that your mind sinks, your body sinks, your relationship sinks, your money sinks. Everything just comes together for you in one miraculous boom. And now all your life is just perfect. That's not how it works. You are having to unlearn all kinds of toxic craziness. You are having to relearn new patterns of thinking and habits and discipline. You are having to reprogram all kinds of junk deep down on the inside. It is a forever process. I do healing work. What we're about to teach in the Work Masterclass, I do this work every year. Every year. I do healing work every year. Intentionally do shadow work. It's like every day, every week, every quarter. But I do healing work every year. It is not one course. It is not 4 counseling sessions. It is not one life coaching course. It is not 2 books and now you got it. Just when you think you got it figured out, God will peel back another layer of you and show you some other little stinky stuff down here that needs to be tweaked. And God is finessing this thing. God is finessing your life. God, when you give yourself over to God, God is back here orchestrating. And it never happens the way you want it to happen. The how isn't up to you. God is bringing about your greatest desires and your prayers even now, right this second. God is manifesting what you've asked for. But it ain't happening the way you want it to. It ain't happening with who you want it to. It ain't happening when you want it to. Hello? Oh, you think because you did 1 healing course or you did 2 therapy sessions, you good. Honey, that is barely scratching the surface on the mess that has been your life. The mess that has been your life. The deprogramming, the religious, legalistic mindsets, the cliches, all the faking and fronting that you be doing, trying to act like you got it so together. And listen, it ain't even with other people. You fake and front with yourself. Even alone. Oh, I'm good. I got it. I'm doing it. You doing what? If you're procrastinating and you're not being obedient to what God keeps trying to get you to do, you ain't doing nothing, boo. You ain't going nowhere. You just spinning your wheels. You just spinning your wheels. You just staying right in place. You ain't going nowhere. You just playing a game with yourself. God's sitting back here like, you done yet? Is you tired yet? You on the little hamster wheel. Is you tired yet? Are you ready to give up all of that craziness, all this stay busy? Are you ready to stop and listen? Are you ready? See, I've had to do so much work on me, conquering my junk. God is, and can I tell you something? God just isn't going to just be doing a new thing right now in this season. God is always doing a new thing. Do you ever notice this? God is always about renewal. He's always about new stuff. It's very rare that God's going back and dealing with old stuff and bringing it forward. It's very rare that God has a new blessing that's old, an old blessing that's new. God is just always doing a new thing. I've recognized it in my relationship with God. He's always doing a new thing. And it's always something very different than what you have had in mind of how you want it, when you want it. He's always doing a new thing. So while you back over here, that's right, Mr. Smoke, trying to repackage something or trying to fix something or trying to pull this along or trying to go back or you trying to hold on to old people, old things, old stuff. God over here like, but I got your $1 million business over here. I keep trying to get you to start this business. I keep trying to get you to incorporate. I keep trying to get you to write the book. I keep trying to get you to take the class. I keep trying to get you, because I got your new multi-million-dollar business over here while you over here bumping your head against the wall with the old business that ain't working no more, with the old job just over broke, that you ain't been happy in for a long time, but you keep trying to tweak it and tweak it and tweak it. And maybe I'll just get a promotion and maybe I'll just apply for this and maybe, but God been dropping in your heart, dropping in your spirit, dropping in your mind, all the new ideas around a new project, a new business. And that's where your money's at. That's where the prosperity's at. We're looking right now at our finances because we're going to buy a new house. I had to go through last year's expenses in one account for one business. And as I looked at how much money we spent in 1 year out of one account, I'm sitting there like, okay. Now, wait a minute, Rebecca Lynn Pope. When I ended up tallying up what we had spent in one account, just one account, one card, we spent $50,000. Not made money. I'm talking about what we spent. We spent 50 G's out of this one account, out of this one stream that I'm looking at like, what do we have to show for that 50 G's? We're going to have to tighten up. There's so much that needs to be done with that money. We should have something to show for that money. There's going to be more accountability, more responsibility, right? You got to look at yourself. You have to be willing to analyze your spending habits. You have to be willing to analyze yourself, your life, what you're doing that's not serving you, what you're doing. I'm sitting there like, that was a deposit on it. What if you talk about 20%? So if we bought a $250,000 another Airbnb property, that 50 G's was a down payment on a $250,000 Airbnb, or 2 down payments on two $125,000 properties. The Pope property business, the other company, could have had 2 more investment properties in it from that one account. The spending, the miscellaneous, guys, that's not vacations. I could give you guys a tutorial, right? No, literally, I could give a TED talk. I'm saying, like, that's just one account. That's not even all the spending, hundreds of thousands. One miscellaneous account that kind of like just, we're frivolously just swiping the card whenever we want for whatever we want. We have like no debt except for property. No debt. So we are making all this money and been making it a long time, but then too loosey-goosey and relaxed. God, ooh, that conviction spirit, I was like, whoo, okay. Carrie Pope, we got to get it together. Right? Monica says, I just did the same thing and I could have cried when I saw all the money I spent with nothing to show. And that's why I say, guys, this new season, this new thing God wants to do in your life, some of you need to be in healing class. Some of you need to be in the work master class. Some of you, God is guiding you to do your healing work, your emotional and spiritual healing work. God needs you to do your shadow work. He's trying to deal and get you to face all the messiness in your life. You keep asking. Guys, can I be honest? When I looked at this account and I looked at our stuff, I sat there like, this is still PTSD from my seasons of bankruptcy. Mr. Smoke, you do need to be coaching, right? It was my seasons of eviction, cars being repossessed. I have financial PTSD. Shadow work, Erica, is a psychological term, therapy term that refers to doing and getting to know the stuff you don't know. It's the stuff about you that you don't know. I do shadow work every year. You've got to go and do more discovery, digging in and peeling back some layers behind the reasons why you do what you do. It's the stuff that is motivating a lot of your decisions and what you do in your day-to-day life, guys, but you don't know it. You don't know why you do what you do. That's your shadow work. It's the stuff you don't know about yourself. You think you know, and then God is always revealing more. God revealed to me, you still have some PTSD. I've done a lot of work in this area. I wouldn't be making the money I make without having done a lot of work in this area. But I have financial PTSD. How did I know? I have a whole project on our Asana app for buying the new house, and I have tasks under the new house for everything that Carrie and I need to be doing to get ready to purchase our house. And when it came time for a couple of those tasks, I felt resistance. Resistance is a key indicator that's pointing to shadow work, resistance, right? And I literally had to sit and be like, why am I resisting calling the mortgage man? Why am I resisting calling this on my credit? Why am I resisting? Why do I feel this procrastination? Why am I, all this money in the bank, all this money you're making, all this, why am I feeling these old feelings? Old feelings. Ooh. Whatever triggers you, whatever you feel resistance to, is pointing to shadow work, is pointing to stuff that needs to be dealt with. Guess what? I don't tolerate that stuff. Guys, when God points things out to me, so this ain't my first rodeo. When God reveals to me, triggered, resistance, right? Stephen, shadow work is doing the work that pulls back the layers of the stuff about you that you don't know. You know what you know, but there's stuff you don't know about yourself. So guys, when I saw that and I felt it, because I've been evicted. I've had cars repossessed. I know what it is. I've gone through a bankruptcy. I lost, remember the Great Recession? I lost all my properties. Horrible divorce. I have financial trauma. All the stuff put on the street. Evicted. And you think, how is this happening? How is this happening to me? Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. How did I get here? Trauma, guys. Trauma. Right? And don't think that if you've been through things like that, that it's not affecting you. If you haven't dealt with it, processed it, heal it, let it go, it's still affecting you today. I had to sit there. Honey, you never see me pick up the phone so fast. Pick up the phone. Calling the mortgage guy. As soon as I felt the resistance. As soon as I felt the trigger. Oh, wait a minute. I have zero tolerance for fear. For fear. I've learned to not tolerate fear in my own life. Why? Because the sooner you face it, the sooner there's breakthrough. The sooner you face it, the sooner you heal it. The sooner you heal it, the sooner you start getting your abundant life results. The sooner your abundant life starts manifesting. As if you're willing to face it. See, once you start dealing with it, it's not as bad as you think. Can I tell you that? Yes, you've got work. Yes, you got some stuff to wade through. But until you face it and start dealing with it, you can't turn it around. You have to deal with it. There's going to be a link in the video for you who asked about the courses. The Work Masterclass is 80% sold out, guys. There's only 20 spots left. 20 spots left for the Work Masterclass. It's a link. We're doing shadow work in the masterclass. We're doing shadow work. I added these modules into the healing class, guys. We're gonna peel, right? I'm sorry, I keep hitting the table. We're gonna peel. I'll show you how I do it. Show you what I do for myself, for clients. Why my clients over the years have had such phenomenal breakthrough, phenomenal results in their own life. That's what I was known for, guys. My clients get a crazy, crazy turnaround fast. Why? Because when you're willing to do the hard things, right? When you're directed and guided to do exactly what needs to get done. Now, fast being in a healing way, not in just time, right? God taking you from where you are to where you really want to be faster than you would by yourself. Will you be teaching this course again? It's going to be offered as an e-course in the future. You won't be live with Carrie and I going forward, but after this, it'll be an e-course. All right, guys, listen. God wants to do a new thing. You make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Listen, I'm trying to launch the Rebecca Lynn Pope Show. I need some people who want to be a guest on my new show. You got questions, you got problems, you got struggles. I don't care what it is. I need you to send an email to live@Rebecca Lynn Pope. And listen, I know some of you sent emails over there to ask questions you want me to answer live. I'll do a Q&A part of the show. But I want some people who are willing to come on live with me, who want a live coaching session, right? Live coaching session. I want you to, I'm going to answer your specific questions. I'm going to give you a live coaching session right here on IG. Send an email to live@RebeccaLynnPope.com. You've got questions. I've got answers. I'll show you exactly what thank you, Erica, live@Rebecca Lynn Pope. I'll show you exactly what coaching really looks like. How powerful coaching really is. Why coaching is so different from therapy. I'm about to show you guys, okay? I can show you better than I can tell you. If somebody sends me an email that's a great enough topic, I'll come live tonight at 7 p.m. with a guest. Tonight at 7 p.m. Send me an email, live@RebeccaLynnPope.com, right? The bait weight challenge is coming, honey. I'm just swamped. It's coming. But I've just got to get these workbooks done that I'm working on for these other courses and for the publishing. I'm on some deadlines, but the bait weight challenge is coming. Okay. But send me an email, live@RebeccaLynnPope.com. I need those of you who want to come on as a live guest, right? This is female Jesus, the 21st century way. Honey, look, Erica, God don't play. Right? God don't play. Send me an email, live@Rebecca Lynn Pope. You want to be a guest. I'm looking for somebody who wants to come on live. You got to send your questions. You got to send what you're dealing with so I know what the topic needs to be. Okay? live@RebeccaLynnPope.com. Send me an email right now. Love you guys. Mwah. Blessings in abundance. Sign up for your healing class. We're almost sold out. We start next week. Sign up to do your shadow work. Sign up to do your healing work. What about struggling with self-love and confidence? That's rooted in pain and trauma, Shakisha. Struggling with self-love and confidence and self-esteem is rooted in pain and unhealed pain. That's what's breaking down the self-esteem. Okay? All right. Love you, Erica. All right, guys. Love you, Erica Lopez. All right, guys. Blessings in abundance. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.